Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I would like to get this field maple which is growing over a rock out of its pot and see what the results are of 1 year of growing, and see if we have to reposition some of the roots to get this tree through winter while the roots are fixing themselves in a good position. So let's come a little closer and get this out of the pot. So this is an interesting part of making videos of your trees. If you don't remember what you did the year before, well, you can always have a look at your own video. And I noticed that I made a whole lot of air layering and diffusion branches, and well, I'm kind of curious what is going on there. So the first thing to do is to get this plastic away and then get rid of the soil here. A lot of sand. Field maples, they air layer themselves quite easily, and this is a characteristic of a plant that we must use. And every single tree that you see emerging here is a branch from this tree that I put it in the soil. So it is genetically 100% the same. We have roots here. I don't know where they're coming from, and that's why we are cleaning this up. So this might take a few minutes, and I'll be right back when there's something to look at. I'm hitting some of the stone here where the rock is growing on, and there's a root emerging from I don't know where, and well, there's quite a whole lot of things emerging from I don't know where, and that's maybe a good reason to get this whole tree out of the pot and have a better look. Quite easy. So there's a fair amount of healthy new roots here, and we just keep on combing and see what we have and what we must keep and what we must reposition and what we have to cut loose, maybe. Yeah, this is definitely something I remember is a piece of foam which was pushing the roots. This is this piece of foam pushing the roots against the rock, so I will have to move these foam. That piece of wire holding a branch under the ground, which produced this new little tree here. So yeah, well, a lot of combing out and cleaning up before we know what's going on. Might take a while. So right now I'm at a point where I don't understand what's going on, because well, there's too much roots and there's too much soil left, and I don't know what I have to cut, what I have to keep, what I have to reposition. So the best thing I can do now is give this whole thing a wash and come back in a few minutes. Can't say it's completely clear, but I remembered some things that I did. For example, you have this branch starting from here that I put under this root, and in order to make this a big root, and then it came back out of the soil, and what we see is that we have a lot of new roots growing here. So I will probably be able now to get this off, which gives me maybe a new little tree, but surely will give me this interesting big thick roots. And here is another little air layered part which I will keep. So hope this is on camera. 1 second, I check. Yeah, so this big branch here can now be removed. And can come off here like so. And this part fused quite well with this root, so oh yeah, I see why. There's a wire here, so of course the fusion is completed now. I'll have to remove this. And what's this one? Oh yeah, that's another branch emerging from here. There's no fusion, but there's a whole lot of roots on this, so maybe I can work the other way now. Remove the branch here. And use this as a new root. This is completely nicely air layered little tree with a whole lot of roots. And so this is where we started. Just removing this little wire here. So this could become a branch in the future, and these are the roots that grew this year, and they will have to be repositioned, and a whole lot of these roots are getting way too thick, and I will have to cut some of this off. So I'm going to get some scissors. So of course I'm going to leave roots that are under the... Let me show you. So this is the tree, this is the rock, and I want to leave some roots under the level of the rock. Everything that is already down this level can come off, which is quite a lot of roots. There's a little wire here. Yeah, it held something in position, but I don't remember what. And I will comb out the roots now to be sure that they will grow down. So in the beginning stage of a project like this, you have not enough roots, and then you end up with a lot of fine roots from the first year, which is great because it means that your tree is healthy and doing well. But then you come to a point when you will have to make a selection, but that's only when you have roots enough and you can choose the ones you want to keep. So I'm going to clean up this stump a little. So there still is a hole here where my finger is coming through, where the tree is not embracing the rock enough, and this could take a very long time before it closes, and there is still not a big substantial root in the front. Well, this one is coming along quite well, but so I think I'm going to put this air layered part right in this position. So first I'm going to clean up the original branch. Going to get rid of all the leaves. And put this in the hole. So this way I'm doing something that's interesting on both, for many purposes. First of all, I'm going to create a back branch here. I'm going to fill up this hole, and I'm going to add an interesting root part here in the front. These roots will maybe fuse, some will get very big, some get with the competition a little weaker, but it will add a nice feature. And there is another little tree that I can use here, maybe for the hole here, because there is one. There's one here, as you can see. So the same, I'm going to remove the leaves and insert this in this hole. So the rock is nicely covered with roots now, and I'm going to take a wire to fix the roots. I'm going to try it with a piece of synthetic raffia. So this is the front of the tree, and I really need to get these roots a little closer to the rock. So in order to do that and to spread them out a little, I'm going to use my little piece of foam again. I'll put it here. This is going to be a disaster as usual. That comes with the job. So I'll be trying to push all the roots against the rock. Yeah, so there goes the foam, like always. But it's gonna work. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to fix the roots against the rock in the back too. So I'm going to take the same pot as I used before, and I'm going to change the substrate. So this is first of all a fine layer of quite thick lava rock, and then I'm going to take the tree and try to put the roots that I want to keep, try to put them under the tree. This is of course not a perfect situation because I know that I will have to sort them out one day, but this is not the point now, because the first thing I need to do is to have roots growing over the rock. So let's try to find a acceptable front for this tree. This is not bad. This gives a little more movements to the tree, and if I tilt it a little like that, I will have more root exposure. This root might come here, and so that's basically all I can do for now, and I'll have to fill this up with a mixture of fine lava and a little compost. And fill the gaps. So in order to be sure that all these roots get a fair chance to grow well and are nicely covered with soil, I'm going to reuse this 2 parts of plastic bottle that I opened up and just tape them together. On both sides. But the difference between this year and the previous year is that this whole ugly plastic construction is getting a lot smaller. And I'm just covering up all the roots so that they stay healthy and get a fair chance to grow. Now I could of course plant this whole tree in a deep pot instead of using a bonsai pot. But the advantage of using a plastic surrounding is that maybe in May or June, when the tree is already growing well, I can remove this plastic surrounding and have a look and start the selection of the most interesting roots, because in time this tree will have to come in a very shallow pot, because what you want to see is the roots clinging to the rock. And therefore you have to expose the roots and the rock, and the roots will have to gain some signs of maturity. But for the time being, I'm quite happy because, well, it's obvious that this plant is healthy. I have some good growth on the top. I did some pruning and pinching this season. And most of all, a good selection of the branches that I needed. Tree is now watered and planted in this quite deep pot, and this concludes the work that I have to do today. So we have a quite interesting trunk line, and at the back we have the two air layer trees that should fuse and get thicker and fill up the holes that we have, and at the same time provide us with new roots. And maybe this one, if it gets really thick, can do something about this bad taper that we have here, but that is not really a concern if you look at the front of the tree. So the only thing we can do now is wait for the winter to pass and then look at the tree in spring and do some pruning and pinching, and maybe let the two fusion parts grow a little more freely in order to get them thick. So that's the end of the work for today. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.